And I guess you could say this was a fun little project. This is a Telsta boom truck. It had a number of things wrong with it. First of all, we had to work on the generator. This is an Onan 4 kW, actually RV generator, but it's been modified because it's got 3-phase power to it. Some of the things we had to do to it, we had to rebuild the exhaust system so that the exhaust system would actually work right. You can see the brazed fitting there. That was all completely rusted out, wasn't even connected. We had to do a little bit of an adjustment to the automatic choke, and then the carburetor itself was set by the manual stop to run the thing at 90 hertz instead of 60 hertz. And there were a number of wiring issues, but with the wiring all set up and with an additional local start switch, we were able to run it on the bench and get it all wired up. And this is an interesting system because it's got a hydraulic pump for lifting it, and it's got 3-phase motors. The hydraulic pump is driven by a 3-phase motor, and so it's a 3-phase motor system. Uses 12 volts from the truck battery to start it, and then you have all of these controls. You go up, lifts it up, and you can go counterclockwise or clockwise. Rotating clockwise there. That little bang you might have heard was telling you where center was. Not exactly what that does sure in terms of interlocks, but you can actually take this. Of course, the bucket isn't on there right now. But we can simulate the bucket location. So you could, in theory, if the bucket was here, the bucket would be standing right on the ground right now. You could actually climb into the bucket, or you could climb into the bucket on that stair step that's on the front of the truck. There's a stair step on front of the truck that you could have climbed in and operated it remotely from the remote control that's in the boom itself. So you go over to the boom, and on it, yeah, I had to fix some wiring here. This 120 volt outlet for using electric trimmers or whatever had 200 volts on it, not a good deal. Anyway, so there's the in button. There's out, up, that works, and then counterclockwise and clockwise. So you could operate it while you're standing in the bucket. Notice how it gives you the little, please be careful around electrical power. You could get killed. So that's how this thing works. It's pretty cool. All from 3-phase power on that little Onan generator right there. You run 24 volts up to it, and you have a run control right here, paralleled by the run control that's up there, which is not being used right now, and then a little hour meter here while you've got 12 volts DC. And that's it. Pretty cool little system. You also get 120 amp volts here if you need it for something. It does have a 15 amp circuit breaker on it, even though it says 10 amp there. If you run too much current on it, the circuit breaker it trips is this bottom one right here. It says power. It says 10, but when the little breaker comes out, it says 15. So I guess you could be confused. I don't know. So let's run it back in again. That's a 3-phase electric motor running the cable, chain and everything. Run it back up into, there it is. We're going to run it back up. That's a hydraulic pump running that hydraulic cylinder right there. Now, one thing you might want to watch for when you're rotating this is really where are your cables? Are your cables clockwise or counterclockwise? I'm not sure what we have in the way of interlock. I'm going to run it counterclockwise so I don't spin those cables anymore. Rotate it up over to the resting position. And then go down. There it is. We can shut her off and close her up and call the customer and tell him he's got an operating system. Actually, what we want to do is we want to, if we can, we want to get the boom from him, the bucket, I mean, and see if we can go do some painting with it. That would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? Okay, bye-bye.